Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in honor of the 500 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a Q&A video so that you guys can know a little bit more about me. So yeah, really quick, I feel like I've talked about this, but like not really specifically or anything. So in March, I'm going to be going to South Korea to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Starting March, I'm not going to be posting any YouTube videos for 18 months. And when I come back from Korea back to America, it'll be like fall 2023 or something like that. I'm going to continue posting then. So I'm going to be gone for like 18 months. I'm just addressing that now so that way I don't ever forget. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on the Q&A video. I'm going to start with music related questions and then not music related questions. How many instruments do you play? I obviously play harp, so that's one instrument. Before harp, when I was like 5 or 6, I started with piano and violin. I played violin until like I was like in 4th or 5th grade, and then I stopped because I did not like violin. And I continued piano kind of, like my lessons were on and off because I was never too serious about piano, so I can play piano. If you give me music, I'll practice it and I can play it. So harp and then piano, and I guess you can say violin, but not really. Like I can still pick it up and play something, but it's not gonna be pretty. I also learned cello starting my sophomore year just because I wanted to play in the orchestra and they don't have harp, and so I had to pick something, so I just picked cello. I guess you can say I can play cello. I can do very, very basic cello, like maybe like up to Suzuki Book 2, but not past that. I'm not that good at cello. What made you decide to study harp in college? This one's actually kind of a fun story. So I actually had no intention of ever studying music in college growing up, like ever. I really wanted to be an engineer, a computer scientist type thing. Like I was super into computer science and I was actually really good at it too. Like the teacher really loved me. It's like not to flex or anything, but MIT was like my dream, like my freshman year. But then my sophomore year, I auditioned for the city orchestra and I got in, and so I started going to orchestra practice because I still liked harp, even though I had no intention of studying it later. I still liked it. I don't know, just being in the orchestra and like being around all the other musicians, and then also the conductor, he was so amazing and so inspirational, and like I just loved him so much. It just like kind of made me really love music a lot more and appreciate it a lot more. And then also the orchestra had so many like great opportunities and programs that like helped push young musicians, and like being a part of that just really helped me gain more confidence in my music skills, because I never wanted to do music because I never thought I could. I thought I had no chance of ever becoming a musician because I was like, only the best can do it, and I was like, and I'm not the best because I'm not. That just kind of helped me realize that I do have the potential, and also like if I work at it, I will be able to get there, you know? I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, how did you pick the college for harp? So this was actually a really tough decision. My senior year was really stressful. I just could not choose where to go. So I was really lucky to get accepted into all the colleges that I applied for. So I applied for Temple, UNT, TCU, BYU Provo, and BYU Idaho. I was really lucky to get into all of them, and they all gave me pretty good scholarships. So when it came down to like actually choosing where to go, first I had to decide based on the money. So Temple only gave me a half scholarship, and so I was like, I can't afford the rest, so that was out of the picture. TCU, it just wasn't, I just didn't feel like it was the right place to be. Even though I loved it and had lots of friends there, I was like, it just doesn't feel right. And then BYU Idaho, I just didn't really want to be in Idaho. Sorry. No hate on BYU Idaho. And so really it was down to UNT and BYU, and they both gave me full rides, which I was really blessed to have. And so it came down to a lot of thought and prayer. So UNT was nice because it was so close to home, but BYU was really good because it supported me going on the mission as well. UNT did support, but it was a little more tricky because they're not used to students taking time off for 18 months, particularly music students taking time off for 18 months and then coming back for a mission, you know? But BYU, like that happens all the time. It's a church school. And so after a lot of thought and prayer, I was like, no matter what, I want to go on a mission, and so I'm gonna go to BYU because that was the best for like what I want to do right now. Also, BYU only offers an undergrad for harp, and I was like, I want to go to BYU at some point in my life, so I'm gonna do it for my undergrad because all the other schools offered other degrees, master's and doctorate, and so BYU first, and then I'll see where I go from there. So yeah, that's how I chose BYU. It was just a really tough decision though. Like me and my friends, I remember we would make T-charts in like biology class, be like pros and cons of each college. Like I still have them actually. It's really cute. What is your dream job in life? So my dream job is to become a harp professor and like have my doctorate and like have my own harp studio and like teach at some university somewhere. Like that is my dream. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So in 5 years, I'm gonna be home for my mission, and I'll still be studying in BYU because I still need to finish my undergrad. So I'll probably be like a junior, senior in college. I don't really know. But I hope by then I would love to be like married, settle down with a nice guy, and like just be happily married, and then and finding what college I'm gonna study at next, auditioning, like continuing my studies in harp. Yeah, that's where I'd like to be in 5 years. What's your best achievement? My best achievement has to be placing in the American Harp Society National Competition 2021. Yes, yeah, that'd probably be my best achievement because that was the first big competition I've ever did. Because I've done like local ones, but this was the first one where I was against a ton of harpists from all over the world. It just was a really big deal for me that I was able to place for the first time I ever did anything. So I was just like really proud. Yeah, it felt really good to like place, and also the prize money was great. Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of music? There's art. I love art. I love crafting with my sister. We made Nichiren swords because we're obsessed with Demon Slayer and they're pretty legit. They're made out of cardboard. What strengths do you have that you believe make you a great musician? This is something that my professor at BYU always told me. She told me that I have really great determination and dedication, and like when I set my mind to something, I like see all the way through to it, I guess. Do you have any weaknesses that you're actively working on to improve on? Okay, so this one's kind of silly, but I never really had the best technique. I did a lot of online lessons when I was little, starting harp, and so because of that, if you're doing an online lesson, it's really hard for the teacher to kind of properly fix your form, and so my form wasn't the best all the time. So yeah, but when I came to BYU, my lessons were now in person because COVID was getting a little better, and so we had in-person lessons instead of online, and so my teacher was like able to see my form and she helped me fix a lot of it. But yeah, I'm still working on it because you can't just change, what is it, like 10-12 years of habit in like a semester. You can't do that, and so I'm working on like keeping my fingers curved because my third fingers like to collapse a lot. Anyway, so that kind of like gets in the way, especially when I'm like doing really fast scales and things like that, so I'm working on that. If you could play something other than harp, what would it be? I would love to play the guitar, like classical guitar. Very portable, it's beautiful, and I feel like it's the closest sound you can get to a harp because I love the harp. The harp is the best. Describe your favorite and least favorite part about being a musician. My favorite part, honestly, about being a musician is the fact that like it never ends, you know, like the learning. There's always something to work on as a musician, and I just love that. My least favorite part would have to be, I know not all musicians are like this, but for me, I'm very accident prone, so I have to be very careful not to break myself. I got tendinitis my last few weeks at the semester, so that made juries really hard because I was playing with tendinitis. If you don't know what tendinitis is, it's basically an inflamed tendon. So every time I moved my finger, it hurt so bad, like I couldn't play. Anyways, it stunk. So yeah, the worst part about being a musician is like being careful not to get hurt. So because of that, I never did a lot of sports growing up. I've always wanted to like play on this team. Like I thought that'd be so fun to have like a sports team and stuff like that, but I never did it because I didn't want to get hurt because I would totally hurt myself because that's me. Describe your worst performance and what did you learn from this experience? I actually have a really sad experience. I was like 12 or 13 and I was still on the lever harp. I hadn't gotten the pedal harp yet, and so I was playing in a trio with my sisters. It was like we were doing a service thing, and so I was playing for these people. I had really bad performance anxiety at this time of my life. Like I was terrified of playing for people. I always set my levers before I put the harp on stage, so I didn't have to worry about it, but for some reason I didn't do it this time. And so when I got sat down to play, my levers were in the wrong key, but I didn't realize it. And I started playing and I had to stop. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong key, because it just sounded terrible. Like it was so obvious I was like not in the right key. And so I was like fixing the levers, and as I was doing that, someone in the crowd goes, wow, of course. And I like was so sad. I was literally gonna cry. And so I fixed the levers, me and my sister played through, we took the harp off the stage, and I just sobbed my eyes the whole car ride home. I was just, it hurt me so bad. But something I learned from this experience was that you really can't let what people say get to you. Constructive criticism is great, learn from it, but some people are just being jerks and you don't need to listen to that. Let's see, where am I? What's your process for dealing with performance anxiety? So I, like I said, had really bad performance anxiety when I was a teen. Like when I was younger, when I played a lot simpler stuff, what helped me a lot was just like practicing the crap out of it. Like I just drilled it in my brain and I memorized it so well I could play it with my eyes closed all the time before I performed. And so that way if anything happened, I could rely on my muscle memory because it was just drilled in my brain. And so that helped me a lot. But then when I got the pedal harp, the rep became a lot more difficult, a lot longer, and it became hard to like really memorize it to the extent that I did on the lever harp pieces. And so what helped me was just to change my mindset on the performance. Like when I was younger, I always thought of performing as like something to like validate myself, I guess. Like whenever I performed, I was like almost like proving myself, like, yes, I play the harp. See, I can play this. I play the harp, if that makes sense. When I was older, I started to realize that performing really is just like sharing a gift, sharing something you love. And if you mess up, it's okay. You're still sharing something you love, you know? And so think of it more of as like a fun giving opportunity rather than like a I need to validate myself. Hopefully that makes sense, but just like changing my mindset on the performance really helped me get over it. How old are you? I am 18, but I'm turning 19 in like a few weeks. So I'm gonna say I'm 19 because by the time I post this video, I probably will be 19. What is your favorite color? I love purple, specifically pastel purple. I love lavender, lilac. It's like my favorite thing. Like I love it so much. I'm obsessed. What is your favorite animal? I love hedgehogs. I used to have a hedgehog and his name was Oliver. He was like my baby. I loved him. Have you ever cried at a film? Yes, I have cried. The most recent movie I cried at has to be Spider-Man 3 No Way Home. I was sobbing. What was your favorite subject in high school? Definitely all the math classes except for statistics. I hate statistics. But my favorite math class has to be AP Calculus BC. Best class I ever took. I would take again. If you have a nickname, what is it? So I do have a nickname. My like YouTube name in Korean, it's Mina. But my English name, my first name is Emily. And so I've had friends call me Ems a lot of the time, or Emmy, or just M. But my family calls me Mina or Mean because we like to shorten it, which sounds like mean, but it's not mean, it's mean. And then my sisters also call me Beans a lot, and there's a whole history behind that, where that came from, but I'm not gonna explain it because it's too long. What languages can you speak? So obviously I speak English. I understand Korean. Speaking is a little harder for me because growing up my mom would always have us respond in English, so she'd speak Korean and we respond in English. So when it comes to speaking Korean, it's a little uncomfortable for me sometimes. Like I can say very basic sentences. I speak a lot of Konglish, yeah, like a mix of Korean English at home. Like I'll just put in Korean words here and there, but when it comes to like grammar, that's a little harder for me. And so I'm actually learning how to properly speak Korean. Yeah, I'm going to Korea and I need to speak Korean there. Soon I'll be able to say I can actually speak Korean, not just say I understand it. What is something you can't do but wish you could? I wish I could snap. I can't snap. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just can't snap. Do you have pets? Yes, I do. We have 2 dogs. We have Mumu, my husky. We also have Ginger, our Great Pyrenees. Favorite food? My favorite food is definitely kimchi bokkeumbap. I love it so much. It is my favorite. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And once again, thank you guys so much for like all the subscribers and like the support I get in the comments. I really, really love reading your comments and like responding. It's really fun for me. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!